Hey guys, and welcome to part 18 of Let's Play Super Mario RPG. In the last part we slowly but surely went to go save Toadstool. It didn't go well, and then we decided to have a little break, you know, have a little relaxing time in a luxury suite. So now, I guess we have to go save Toadstool or Peach. I guess we'll do that, seeing how we're the hero. So we try to get into the church, but obviously we're not allowed in. Very smart tactic. I can't really slag them off on that tactic of actually locking the door. But of course we're going to get in the place. But you know, I like the effort. I like that they try very hard. So yeah, before you do that, I probably should have done this before in the last part, but I didn't. You're going to want to come to the shop, because every new place you come to, you're probably going to see some new items that you probably haven't seen before. So I would definitely say it's worth checking every single item shop or store or anything like that. So yeah, just now I've just bought a load of new items. So as you know, my saving thing is the whole. I don't have to explain that again, but yeah, I actually managed. My emulator hasn't frozen in like ages. It's wicked. So look at this beauty. Super Hammer, obviously better. And one thing I didn't mention that I kind of didn't really pay that much attention to, you can actually see how much better each item is when you go and equip it. As you can see here, I'm going to do it in a bit. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, I'm going to do it. See, there we go, and you can see how much better the stats actually increase by. So if it's going to decrease the stats, obviously you don't want to equip it. So Bowser actually hasn't had anything equipped at this point in time. It probably would have been a really good idea to go buy some stuff and equip it, but I'm not too sure if there's anything you can actually get for Bowser. Although the Zoom shoes I got, so I guess I could have equipped those to Bowser. So now that Bowser is kitted out, he should be a lot better. Now that he actually has a weapon and armor and stuff. Poor Bowser, he was naked beforehand. I mean, Mario has the full, you know, loads of clothes. Mallow at least has trousers on. King Bowser is just hanging out. So something I got stuck on. I personally got stuck on this bit because I had no idea there was the back entrance. The guy says if you go up to the door when it's locked, he'll say, "Don't go through the back entrance." Derp, derp, derp. But it turns out you can't actually see the back entrance. You have to go round, and the bit I went into is actually a door, even though you can't see it at all. I thought it was kind of cheap and kind of annoying. I just looked it up, if I'm being honest. I didn't want to waste too much time on it. But that's why there was that cut there. So now we've come here, we're behind him, he's like, "Oh, they hate me, they've locked me out." So now he wants you to help. You and him together are going to do one of these numbers. What you have to do is run in at the same time, pretty much synced. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be damn good, like that. And you will actually bash down the door. Again, something that I didn't think was too clear. I mean, the game tells you to do it, but I was trying for like 5-10 minutes to try and break down that door, but nothing was happening. So yeah, you do actually have to make sure you are completely synced with him to break down the door, or it just doesn't work. So again, you know, another cheap bit on the game's front. That turtle looks pretty mean. Is Bowser meant to be a turtle? Or is that just him slagging him off? I love Bowser's click. It's like, it makes him seem so cool and nonchalant. He's just so cool. And again, this is another bit where you have to sync it with Bowser, but it's 10 times easier than the last bit. And if you manage to figure out the, you know, that you had to bash down the door before, you shouldn't have any problems there. And Bowser he's so cool, man, with his clicks. He kind of lets it down by crying, but I guess he'll be okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, bloody hell. Drinking water, guys. It's risky. It's really risky. I shouldn't have done it. So now we're in the church, and Toadstool is obviously crying because she's a woman, and that's what they do. Sexist comment. Yeah! No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I love all peoples. So yeah, she's lost all her things, but again, this is another, you know, a bit like a kid's cartoon show, I would say, this relationship between Mario and Booster. Or Booster is that sort of, you know, classic villain sort of thing, where he's a bit dumb, he's a bit of an idiot, you know, and it's all just a big laugh, really. You don't I can't really remember what happens to Booster. I don't think anything happens to him at this point, although I probably shouldn't really give that away. So yeah, this is I would say mini game, but it's not really a mini game. It's just an extra little thing to do. Peach has lost all her stuff, and and then all the Sniffets have gone and found it, so you have to go to the Sniffets and you have to talk to each one of them and get all her stuff back. Pretty simple, really. Oh god, I just remember what's coming up. Oh god, something very horrible is coming up. Right, so you pretty much have to corner them, although I think if you run head on into them, they will just stop in their tracks. But this can be kind of annoying. It doesn't take too long though. See, I just got sandwiched, for God's sake. They're crafty. If they think we're on the same side, they're not really helping me out too much. Ho ho! I'll look for the last one. So we got the ring, we got all 3 items, and now you have to look for the crown. See if you can spot where the crown is. Can you see a crown somewhere? If the answer is no, then you're very much like me, and you're going to jump on an organ. Can't find the crown, you got to jump on the organ. And now the crown's gone. For some reason, the crown, like, I don't know why, but the crown goes flying, and then it lands on Booster's head after he's talked and told all the Sniffets to go and find the crown. I don't really quite know the physics of the situation, but yeah, I've kind of, yeah, he's wearing the crown. Even though Peach is still clearly wearing a crown! What's that on her head if that's not a crown? Is that a tumour that she hides using the crown? I don't know. Oh, she's just a crybaby. And Peach obviously is so stunned by Bowser showing up that she crushes Mario. But there, she's still wearing a crown. I mean, did she just put on a crown? Oh god, here's the bit. This is how you can tell this was made by a Japanese developer. I don't want to be racist here, but it does seem very Japanese, this bit. And you wouldn't get any of this nonsense in an American game. Because out of nowhere, this happens. Booster and Bowser kiss Mario. And in a very weird way it's beautiful, but in another more precise, accurate way it's quite horrible, and I have no idea why that happened. Stupid Toadstool. I think she took a picture, the bitch. But no, you know how it said if you do it quick enough something good will happen? Well, that something good is that Peach will actually just kiss Mario and Bowser and Booster will go tongue-to-tongue fighting instead. I can't believe I used that phrase, that's so horrible. Such a horrible little thing. Reptiles kissing, plumbers kissing, weird freakish Viking dudes. I'm guessing it's supposed to be some sort of Viking man. Guessing by the like 3D picture of it. So, oh god, a fight has just broken out. So Booster doesn't actually try and stop you. This is the official main boss for this area, or for this next star, I would say. This is actually the very first time I died doing a boss. So this is actually my second run, or died ever. I did die once in the forest maze, but I cut that out, and it was just because of how long the forest maze was. But yeah, I actually died doing this boss, so this is my second take, and it went very, very well, this second take, I would say. So we got to do, the chefs are pissed off, one of them's French or something, I don't know, and they start attacking you, but if you try and attack them, I guess because they're chefs and they have magic food powers, you won't actually be able to do any damage to them. The only thing you can actually damage is the cake. So you keep attacking the cake and you do a certain amount of hit points and the cake will start moving. And then they'll have a little discussion. Because the cake shouldn't move. Traditionally when you build a cake, or when you make a cake, you put it in the oven and that would probably kill it if it was alive. So it's very unusual for a cake to start moving by itself, I would have to say. So, and yeah, this is because of this boss, it's quite a tricky boss. That's another reason you want to go to the item shop, and you know, you can go to other places, just make sure you're fully equipped, you know, even go and buy some items, you know, get some mid mushrooms and all that shizzle. Because you are idiot. That's a good sentence. So after you do enough damage to the cake, I'm not exactly sure how much damage you have to do for the cake, but then the cake will come alive and scare off the chef, so now it's just us versus the cake. Right, so now that it's just the cake, this is the boss, and we have to blow up the candles, and let's have a look at some stats. It was called Butt, or Bund, and it's a living snake. HP 900, attack 65, defense 10, magic attack 25, and magic defense 50. Its weak point is jump attacks, so again, something I didn't know. And what you have to do is you have to blow out all the candles on the cake. So once it takes so much damage, a candle will blow out. And what you have to do is you have to keep attacking, and then I think every single turn one of the candles comes back. So you've got to definitely be aware of that. But yeah, its defense is super low, so you don't want to be using, like, you know, with Mary, well, you don't want to be using magic attacks with Mallow, you just want to be hitting it hard. Although, as I've already said, its weak point is jump, which I didn't know, so a super jump would probably do a stupid amount of damage here. Although I honestly couldn't say. So yeah, it's lucky I've got all these new items actually, super hammer and all that. Although Mallow is probably due for a new froggy stick. But as you can see, its candles, it's almost down. But after this turn, it's gonna, one more candle's gonna be lit. So again, this can. I talked about critical points in a boss in the last boss, and this one is definitely one of those bosses where, like, you can get really close to blowing out all the candles, and then he can just attack you horribly, and it'll be bad. So once that's done, that's not the end of the boss. I was really hoping it would be. You still have to fight the bottom bit, Raspberry. Not really sure the stats on this one, but it's not too bad. I think the only attack it will use is Sandstorm. It really does depend on how badly damaged you got from the first half of the cake, because the first half can use like Lullaby and use special attacks on you, so you can easily get taken down by those. So you want to make, again, another reason why Mallow is really handy for healing and stuff like that. But again, if you had Geno, Geno would be able to attack it as well, so I guess, you know, I guess either strategy is fine. So I'm using HP Rain on Mario because I really need Mario alive because he does a lot of damage. Although my timed hits have been a bit off recently. I'm not sure if you've noticed that in these last few parts. When I've been attacking, my timed hits have just, especially with Mario. With Bowser, okay, for the Chomp Shell, to do the timed hit, you pretty much just have to tap it as soon as the Chomp Shell hits the enemy. Or around there. You can tap it and it will work. I don't quite know why it works, but with Mario you have to actually hit it precise, like, be precise with your hitting, so it's kind of a lot more tricky. But again, with Bowser I get a perfect hit every time. So I think this is going to be the last hit, and then I think we're done. No, this is going to be the last hit. Come on. Come on, last hit. Oh, you're kidding me, game. Yeah, he'll use Sandstorm and then just a normal attack. You kind of want to hope that it's just going to use a normal attack just because of how little damage it does. But again, it's one of these boss battles where once you get to the end, you don't actually kill the boss, but something happens. I think that's every single boss, really. I think instead of actually killing the guy, something usually happens. Although Mac actually just died, I think, didn't he? I don't know. So here comes Booster. And while Mario, Mallow and Bowser are all drugged up or something, they look very, very ill and dying. You know, a little cutscene's going to happen with Booster. So again, this is some more Nintendo logic for you. Obviously it's a cake, and even though the cake is alive, you can still eat cake. I mean, just because it's alive, like, people eat octopus even though it's still alive, so I guess really eating cake with lovely raspberries and icing on it isn't that weird compared to octopus, but did that cake just move? You can't get anything past this Booster fella. So, and the boss is defeated. I was kind of like hoping, like, are they going to animate Booster actually eating it? Is it actually going to animate that? It's like, no, it just fell into it and he closed his mouth. So Booster is actually taking care of the boss. And that's it, and he doesn't seem to be very upset that his wife, his wife left him. I would be pretty gutted. If you married someone and they just left you, that's depressing. You gotta be depressed about that. 25 XP, very nice, so that means Mario levels up to level 10. And which level? Learns Super Flame, which I haven't actually used yet. I should probably show that off in one of these parts. And Mallow also levels up to level 10. As I said, Mario and Mallow level up very similar time, so if you get a big chunk of HP, you're always gonna, or experience points, you're always gonna level both of them up at this point. Well, I am anyway. It really depends how much you use Mario before you get Mallow. That's pretty much it. So yeah, Booster just left. I'm glad he's insane, so he didn't think to stay. And Toadstool has joined the party. Be sure to bring her back safely. So Mario's well chuffed with that. So, it's coming to the end of the part. In the next part we will be returning Peach or Toadstool to the Mushroom Kingdom. And, you know, doing a bit more story stuff. So, I've been HonestTom23. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all that. And I'll see you next time.